Well, we got it. We got it.
We got it. What do we got?
It.
Whatever it is, we definitely got it.
Hit me.
I was trying to. You interrupted me.
Okay.
Do you remember the Obama Believe posters from when he was running for president?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's that, but it's Sasquatch wearing sunglasses.
Oh, does it say believe on it?
Yeah, it does. At the bottom, it says believe, and then it says Sasquatch wearing sunglasses.
I need one of those to go with my Sasquatch shirt.
Well, you'll have to get one yourself.
Okay. Do I kick it off now?
Yeah, now you can start. See, because it took longer for me to chastise you because we're in our chastising era, apparently. It would have been if you'd just let me tell the story.
All right. Well, admonish me during the intro.
Here we go. Okay.
Welcome again to another episode of Drake and the Maestro, almost relevant, and under a tornado watch.
Well, one of us
Coming
is under
to you.
a tornado watch.
It'd be me, and I'm here in the bunker, and you can probably hear the storm swirling around me. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one of us is in Montana and is looking at the mountains and clear blue skies. So
if the if the program suddenly ends with, or maybe just the sirens.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow the recording got out because I don't have access to any of the editing and or recording software. So he survived. It just took a minute.
My last official act
is to edit and upload the final episode of the podcast.
Send.
Must hit the enter key. Oh man.
Yeah. No, we're getting it. We're getting hail and sideways wind and. Yeah, it's so dark. The street lights go
as opposed to the up and down wind.
Yeah, sideways.
Is it all wind sideways?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is up and down. I don't know. It's up and down. It's all around.
It's doing the hokey pokey. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around.
It's the up and down wind, but it's the sideways rain or hail or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because up and down wind would be a tornado, but all wind is always sideways. That's how how wind works. It blows across things. If you have up and down wind, you have a problem. Generally, a tornado.
I usually only get up and down wind after I eat chili, but
or Taco Bell. Yeah, right. We don't talk about that.
I'd rather not.
Are you gonna? Should you regale the listeners about your travels this week?
Oh yeah. Well, we were going to do an on the road with Drake and the Maestro, but because I took a little trip.
In your favorite rocket ship?
Sure. Picking up some stuff in Chicago, and it was good. I was looking forward to it. Good to be back on the road and all that. But
Willie Nelson was playing. Yes,
I was trying to cash really.
Willie Nelson's the one that did On the Road again. So
yeah, but I've been everywhere. I'm more of a Johnny Cash guy. I'd rather have cash. I prefer cash.
Yes, well, we already know you don't have sense.
It's the same reason that Lee Major divorced Farrah Fawcett and married Olivia Newton-John, because he figured a John was way more practical than a Fawcett.
Yeah. I'm going out on that joke? Yeah. No, the episode just started. We can't go out on that joke.
Like, good. It makes some people happy.
Mostly our critics.
I braced myself for the trip. One of them. Really, like, we could go through all the...
Oh, I heard that. Yeah. What was that?
Yeah. That'd be the Thunder Boomers. Told you, we're in Storm Central right now. Right?
Well, normally the microphone doesn't pick up the background noise. That one was loud enough to come through on my end.
I'm using the podcast microphone, not my sport. I'm not using the sport headset, because it broke, and the new one hasn't arrived. So I'm using the.
Well, maybe if it's airmail, maybe it'll show up sooner now that it's in the sideways wind.
I don't know. There were. What was that?
What?
Anyhow. Yeah, so I planned my trip and figured we were going to pick up our cargo the next day, and so I figured I'd drive one day, pick up the next day, and drive back. Pretty much SOP. And the drive wasn't that bad, although I got to tell you, as I kept getting further and further towards the big city, because we live about a 5-hour drive away from the big city, get closer and closer, I was getting into more and more culture shock. It was like, I don't even recognize this place.
Yeah, it's really changed up there.
Oh yeah, very much so. And I was like, and my wife was the one really having culture shock because she hasn't been up that way in a long time. And yeah, things have changed. And of course, the usual slappies behind the wheel. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I did forget that I'm in the land of red light cameras. right? So
Did you get red light cameraed?
I have no idea. How do you even check, right?
When the giant flash goes off as you go through a red light?
No, nothing like that. I just
you're
stopped. I had to turn around because I missed the turn. And the stupid GPS, I tell you what, I had mapped myself out a route that we had talked about earlier, getting around the road construction and everything. And the GPS was continually trying to route me back to the road construction. No, I don't want to go to the road construction. No, go to the road construction. No, but I don't want to. I had this map, this route all mapped out. The only problem was there was one state route that was completely closed at a railroad bridge they were building. But it's just a quick
that one I didn't know about.
Jog around and back up, no big deal, But the GPS kept screaming, "No, turn around! No, turn around!" It's like, stop it! Oh,
one of us is driving this thing, and it ain't you.
I can see how the truck drivers that are kind of new to truck driving or just cheap or whatever, and they're just, I'll just use Google on my phone. I don't need no fancy truck driving GPS. I can see how they end up in bridges and people's front yards and in the middle of some HOA somewhere. Like, in the fountain.
Because Google's like, hey, this dirt road's going to save you 15 minutes.
15 seconds. It's not even 15 minutes. It's like, going to save you 2 minutes. If you take this dirt road and then you go by the cow path and then jog over and drive through this field and,
Right, go down the sidewalk. You'll get there 15 seconds sooner.
Yeah, and so that could be the other thing that ends the podcast here is the
internet goes down?
Yeah, right, because I'm running on battery now. Our power went out. I'm running on backup.
Neat.
We'll see how long that goes.
Yeah,
it's great. This is nothing eventful. It was just the usual traffic issues. Although I was somewhat furious when I got to the toll system, and it's all Easy Pass. Right?
Only Easy Pass only, or pay by plate.
No cash box. No debt. All legal tender for all debts, public and private. No, we're not taking
the cash box.
Yeah, right. Okay. I found that rather annoying and it upset my sensibilities about cashless society and whatnot. That we won't put this in this. Yes, but
poor baby.
Well, it was just. Oh, I had cash and change and everything ready to pay the toll, and they're all torn out. So then it became
out.
And then it became, well, I'm just going to drive through it and we'll deal with it, right? Got close to the hotel, and sure enough, I had a law enforcement encounter. Get right to the apron of the hotel. Like, oh, great. So this cop, looks about 12, maybe 13, comes up and introduces himself. And your license plates are suspended? I'm like, I do now. Actually, I said all this again because it's a continual battle with interstate stuff. And one state keeps not accepting my insurance, and so they avoid the plate. Yeah, they don't. Well, they don't like the insurance.
Well, they don't like that you have insurance in one state for a plate that's from another. You have insurance in one state that's for a plate that's in a different state, and they get real mad about that.
Yeah, they do. And they try to explain it to me like, well, there's different regulations, and some cloud companies don't have art license to have insurance in multiple states, and so that's why we don't accept it. And I was thinking, wait a minute,
that's great.
Well, doesn't that mean that insurance is no longer nationwide then? If I leave my home state, am I no longer insured?
Apparently.
What are they trying to pull here? Well, it's just a revenue generating crap, because what they're doing is they're selling insurance licenses, state by state.
Careful, you're getting relevant.
Oh, sorry. So anyhow, I have to go through the dance with this insurance, and the only way I can fix it is to have a violation, which then spits out a reference number, and then I can give that to my insurance company, and then since they have the reference number, they can clear it. But I can't be proactive about it. Every time I go to renew, I try to be proactive and ask them to contact the Secretary of State and let them know the insurance renewed, because I never had a lapse. But the license people at the Secretary of State's like, nope, can't do it without a reference number. Okay, how do you get a reference number? A violation. So I have to wait for a violation to get a reference number before you can clear up the stupid.
So they don't even mail you anything with a reference number? They're just like, oh yeah, you just have to wait for the violation to happen and then...
Well, here's the other thing. They count on their computer telling them that it was mailed, right? So apparently something was mailed, but you've seen the mail. I've seen the mail. Was there ever a notice in the mail? Negative.
Not that I know of.
And it's been that way for other official communications too. It's like, well, we sent it to you in the mail. Did you? Yeah, the computer says it was mailed on such and such a date. I'm like, oh, just because the computer says it was generated never doesn't mean that it actually made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Just because it came off the printer. No, that's what they say too. The computer says
Doctorate denied.
License plate denied.
Right. Oh, I had to go. So I was talking to the cops asking me. He says, "Well, where are you headed?" I point at the hotel. There.
Over there.
Oh.
I was gonna go about 6 feet that way. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It was overall was pretty good. He's like, "Oh, that was pretty good. At least you know what the problem is." Like, I had to spend lots of time trying to explain to people what could be why their plates might be expired or suspended, not expired. Suspended. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This is a dance I go through with this state on a semi-annual basis. Oh, here we go. I'll just have to spend some time on the phone in the morning and clear it up, which I did.
Yep.
But that wasn't. I was expecting the drive to be the issue, and it wasn't. It was to stay in the hotel. Now, this is a hotel I've stayed at in the past. I've traveled for business and stayed at this place, and it's always been really good. But
you even have a rewards program through them. Get upgraded.
Indeed.
Such.
Yes, indeed I do. And in this case, that did not help me as much as I would have hoped. First of all, if you're a listener out there, if you're the kind of joker who likes to set the alarm clock in the hotel room upon checkout, I'm looking for you.
You mean I shouldn't be doing that?
No one should be doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm finally getting myself, calmed down and in bed, and I finally fall asleep. The alarm clock goes off.
I was just trying to get myself calmed down. I don't know why that made me laugh. Made me laugh more than it probably should have.
I have to. It's a daily thing. Gotta get calm.
Gotta turn off the brain.
Turn off the brain and calm down enough to fall asleep. The whole process is especially difficult to do without, shall we say, chemical assistance, which I don't like doing. Oh,
yeah.
And so the alarm goes off, and the only thing that saved that alarm clock from total destruction was it was one of those hotel ones that's like bolted down and has a huge cable on it, so you can't throw it. So I bashed on it until it shut up.
Why they do that? It's okay.
It is why. I bashed on it till it shut up, and it just drifted off again. It went off again. Apparently it's only snooze. So then it's like, okay, turn the lights on, read the directions, turn off the okay, fine. So
figure out how to turn off the alarm clock.
Right. So now I'm all aggravated. So I'm just laying in bed aggravated. And then I realize I'm finding another problem as I'm laying there trying to calm down again. That the bed is shoved up against the wall. So obviously you got the headboard, but the one side is shoved up against the wall. So you can only enter from the other side. So that's what people have been doing. They've been getting in from the one side, which whatever,
right.
Except whoever the housekeeper is, they haven't been rotating the mattress.
What,
so it has a specific
them to rotate the mattress
for the kind of place I was staying at. I am, yeah. This wasn't like Motel 6, okay? It was a big name
you expect them to rotate
chain.
the mattress? What is this? Some kind of professional establishment?
I was hoping, but in any event, it's an incline. So as I move, as I'm trying to get myself comfortable, it's slowly sliding me back off again.
Well, it's the anti-sleeping in feature. You lay in the bed, and then if you're late, you can't be late for the meeting if it throws you out of it halfway through your sleep cycle.
Right, so you end up in the conference room dressed and ready for the meeting at 3 a.m, pounding cups of coffee, and by the time all your protege gets there and all the people you're meeting with get there, you just look like some kind of zombie. So, an office zombie. Right. Yeah. So
as it should be.
With a little bit of a twitch.
Yeah. you go to meet your client, the client, and you're already at their place of business in your car, vibrating in place because you're 3 energy drinks deep between the alarm clock and the mattress that keeps throwing you out. You're just like, hi, how's it going? What are you doing? Should we talk about business? Business. Let me tell you about this great idea I had for an Italian restaurant. Sir, this is marketing.
Room for a parking lot?
Yeah.
The whole country's parking lot. Yeah. So
parking lot.
well, I'm just getting that worked out and figuring out how to. I was going to rotate the mattress myself, and then realized. So I learned how to brace myself by sleeping, kind of diagonally, and that worked out.
Yeah.
Right up until
sounds like a euphemism for something.
Right up until the contractors, for whatever reason, are showing up earlier than contractor hours, if you know what I mean. So
you mean just before 10 a.m.?
Before 6 a.m. Contractors start early, they finish early. That's
I don't know what contractor you've been dealing with recently, but did the concrete guys show up at like 10 in the afternoon? That's okay.
The door, there'd be talking and then bang of a door, and then talking, and I would just drift off, and then more talking and bang door, bang, bang. So it's either someone checking out, contractors checking in. I thought it was just people checking out of rooms, initially. But then I heard the on the floor above us, let's just say the Mexican polka started. And then I heard the hammer drill with the tap cons and all that. Like, oh.
Hey, at least yours wasn't because the elevator was down again for the second time that weekend, and your room happened to share a wall with the staircase at a convention that probably hosts several thousand people. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're hearing thong, 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 because people don't know how to carry a suitcase down a staircase.
Whether they lack the ability or the knowledge or the physical strength.
I'm not going to find out.
Probably one of those suitcases with wheels, right?
I did. Yeah, I forgot to cover that last week because we have had a couple episodes since I went to the convention. Boy, that same chain of restaurants, of hotels. I think they both start with an H, so it's kind of hard to remember which one's which. But anyway, oh no, we were at the other one. That's right, we were at anyway. The elevators are one of those fancy glass backed where they look out into the center of the building. And boy, those give you vertigo, especially when you go to when everyone has shown up to the convention on the same day, and the elevators are just going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. It got so bad that 2 elevators broke. And so because you'd push the button on your floor to call the elevator, and we were at the same hotel last year and it was not this bad, but I think it's because the only other hotel in the area was under renovation and was closed. Beauty. So they were closed for so everyone is at this one hotel. Nice. And you'd be standing there and the doors would open and it would be a full elevator car. And I was like, I guess I'll get the next one. And it was that for probably 20 minutes, 20 to 30. There were girls that gave up. They were up on a floor higher than me, and they gave up and they started walking down, and they got to my floor where I'm standing waiting for the elevators, and I'm on the 4th floor. And I go, well, why don't you keep going down the stairs? She's like, the stairs end on the 3rd floor. What? Yeah, the stairs just end on the 3rd floor. There's no hotel access. You can't get into the hotel from the stairway.
No, you have to. That's a fire hazard.
I don't ask me, dude. I don't ask the city of Milwaukee.
Is there is that floor maybe a mezzanine? So you have to walk down a hall to find another set of stairs?
The second floor is a mezzanine.
I don't know. I can't.
That's where all the convention room. That's where all like the conference rooms and all that are. But the 3rd floor is hotel rooms. So I don't understand why the staircase ends at the 3rd. The hotel access ends at the 3rd floor. You can't get above the 2nd floor from the ground floor with the stairs, with that stairwell, and you can't get below the 3rd floor.
Yeah, you probably have to walk somewhere else to find that stairwell going the rest of the way.
Yeah, they said they tried, and they came back up to the 4th floor to get on the elevators.
Yeah, that could be a real issue with the fire. I would be,
Yeah. I wonder if it was under construction or something, or maybe it goes out into the park. Maybe you have to go like out into the parking garage and then back into the hotel because it has
the parking garage is up the third floor.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe like the you have to go out into the parking garage on the third floor and then go down to the second floor and then come back inside.
Well, if you're escaping fire, maybe,
I never tried.
Maybe you just go out on the third floor and be done with it.
Yeah, you just go out in the parking garage on the third floor and be done with it. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't trying the staircase. I wasn't going to get lost in a hotel. I've only been to once.
You and I both have the physique that doesn't really lend itself to stairways.
Yeah, nothing runs in our family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially unless you want to fall up the stairs, that seems to run in the family.
Well, right, yeah. So, that's not running. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it'd be one of those deals where the fire is coming and your only escape is to run down the stairs. Well, I guess I'm done for.
I guess I burn.
What are you going to do?
Sir, just come down the stars. Nope.
I'll end up falling up the stairs. Yeah.
I'm all right.
So I was, needless to say, I was very displeased even.
Displeased. Did you register your discontent on the internet? I guess that's what you're doing now.
Well, I am now, but I went and saw the manager instead. And I was up much earlier than normal, but that ended up being beneficial because I was able to load up and head out and miss all the traffic. So that worked out. But because I'm a VIP member of that particular chain and its subsequent subchains of hotels and suites, they comped my room, so that was nice.
No.
Yep. So it worked out.
You like?
Yeah. And then it just took me 3 days to recover, trying to get some sleep all over again.
Oh.
Well, although I did realize, and this is going back to last podcast. Remember making all the medical tests, right? A man my age should be tested for low T. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that test wasn't done. And so I called the doctor's office, and I'm like, well, next set of tests, let's make sure we do the testosterone test. And they said, do you have the Hallmark channel on your cable subscription? And I said, well, yes. So we're going to give you a list of shows. What?
That's just that you've already got it. You've already got low T. If you're a man and aren't, well, I guess you're married, so you might be able to,
Well, there's more to it. Think of the Hallmark channel here on a list of shows to try watching, right? Mm-hmm. Try watching these shows and see what you feel. So I started watching this one show that has Treat Williams in it, who was, I kind of like him in the Substitute series of movies. But it turned into like an adult teenage soap opera-y kind of thing. It wasn't quite, what is it? The Heart Show. One's called My Heart or something. Which I watched for. My Heart. Yeah, which I watched for a little bit, and it's like, oh no, I can't do it. But I started liking this particular program. I don't know if it's called Neverwood or whatever it is, and
never could, never should.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And I realized that's the test. So if you can sit down and watch these programs without being revolted, you probably have low T. And how much depends on the severity of the program. How chickified is the show? And that will tell you how bad your condition is as a dude. So, So those...
Was there a joke in there somewhere, or did you just want to ramble about it for a minute?
It is. The joke's on me, apparently. So...
Boy, oh boy! All right. You gotta bring the stories here, old man.
What can I do? I'm in the middle of a tornado. I'm in the bunker. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Although so I'm checking my email. I got nothing better to do while I'm at the hotel. I'm sitting up early in the hotel room, right? So I'm checking my email, right, aggressively. And which
how do you aggressively check your email?
I'm glad you asked what that is. You're going in and you're checking not just your inbox, but like your junk and spam folders, right? And categorizing stuff that you don't want to see anymore. And I don't know what it is with Microsoft's Hotmail, but they have suddenly, and both on the Drake and the Maestro email and on my personal, they have started categorizing all kinds of stuff that isn't junk as junk. It seems like it's the default. It just all goes to junk. So then I'm going through the junk and I am making sure that and some stuff that I want, not only is it moved to the inbox, but it's recategorized. So it isn't blocking again. And that would be the definition of aggressively checking email. I'm actually going in and looking and categorizing. And right. So I come across, in the junk folder, I come across an email, and the subject line, which is all caps, says, "Why haven't you renewed your membership?"
Oh, I don't know. What membership are we talking about here?
Doesn't matter. It's a place that I used to have a membership, and I don't want it anymore, and I haven't renewed it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. Why haven't I renewed it? Because I don't want it. Because the reason I didn't renew it is this particular organization was sending me an email about or a text 3 or 4 times a day. You marketing people out there, if you think you're going to attract customers by constantly bothering us with group texts or texts,
say it,
and emails. I can't say it. I'm getting my tongue tied. Texts and emails incessantly. The opposite happens. I can't imagine where anybody thinks, "Oh, that's good marketing. We'll just no. Gonna get people angry."
It's like getting the same ad on Facebook 4 times in a row. It's like, not only am I not going to buy your product, I'm going to not buy your product extra hard now.
Right, if that's the thing. So, yeah. So that's, it's like, man, that's getting aggressive. Like, why didn't you, because like all caps is yelling, right? So why aren't you renewing your membership? Because you people are jerks, you know?
Yeah, because I don't like you.
Right, I don't like being harassed. That's why. Join for the benefits, stay for the fun. I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm not seeing the fun. So bye-bye. I was just weird. Of all the subject line, the one thing that it did do of all the subject lines, I was just like, delete, block, delete, block, delete, block. I saw that. Like, wow, that's oddly aggressive,
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? I just block.
No. I just block them. I've got stuff that's in my spam folder that's not spam. I've got stuff that isn't in my spam folder that should be. I think one of my friends' emails been hacked because I keep getting emails with her name on it. That's like, look at these pictures, and I'm like, one, I'm not clicking that link, and 2, screw you.
Yeah. When it's involved, especially pictures, it's like, no, I don't think so.
Well, I know it's not her because it's coming up as her name, but it's not her email address.
Yeah. I've had some people contact me about stuff like that. It came from you, so it did not. Because if it did, it'd be worse. It'd be worse than what you received.
That's right.
Oh,
right. Did you click on the link?
Speaking of weird things coming in the email, I saw this ad. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Okay. You're familiar with electric wheelchairs. I mean, I am intimately. I mean, I have a couple.
Yeah, some of us. I was going to say some of us are more familiar than others, but yeah, go on.
Right. So I saw this ads for electric wheelchair. Now, I understand why I get these ads, okay? Right? Because I'm like the prime demographic. Yeah, right. I'm the prime demographic. So, but there was some feature on this wheelchair that they're really advertising. They're aggressively advertising, and I'm thinking of all the accessories that you would want on an electric wheelchair. This is not one of them. I've seen, where they cup holders. Oh, that could be useful. Cup holders, Bluetooth speaker, all kinds of stuff. But never have I seen an electric wheelchair with the wireless remote. And they showed this video in the solicitation. They showed the video of a nice old lady, and you're to assume it's either a caregiver, maybe granddaughter, or whatever, has got the remote, and she's like, "Come on, Grandma," and running the remote, and the old lady's like, "Okay, wow." Ooh. I'm like thinking to myself,
it's an RC remote, like for the wheelchair,
right? Like an RC car, but it's an RC wheelchair.
Hell, you could drive your relatives off a cliff. When they're driving you crazy, you can drive them somewhere else.
That's the one accessory I'm never going to get, and even if I did, I would hide the remote from you because I'm going places I don't want to go.
I'm not tired to deal with you.
This is a colossal bad idea.
You're just wheeling Grandma into the next room, so you don't have to talk to her anymore.
It's exactly right.
All right, Grandma, it's nap time. Even better if it came with a little screen on it so you can see where the wheelchair is going.
I'll have to write them back and go, okay, I'm all in if you can give me the remote, like a drone remote, where you've got with the screen and then you can kind of see where it's going.
Boy, that takes Weekends at Bernie's to a whole new level.
It doesn't it?
I like it. No, I like it. I'll have to get you one of those, and then I can keep the remote.
Sure,
that way
you
every
do
time I show up, I could drive you around. Now, you've been driving me crazy for years. Now I can drive you.
In Russia, a wheelchair drives you.
It's Soviet Russia. A wheelchair drives you. Yeah. Listen, what's that steering wheel for? Oh, it's driving me nuts.
And on that disappointment, it's time to end for this week.
Oh, no, wait. I got a whole thing about Facebook's. I don't know if you've been on Facebook recently, on the app specifically. They've got a whole new so, I don't know. It's been a complaint of mine. I just haven't been very vocal about it because I don't care that much, but it's been something I've noticed that seeing posts from your friends on Facebook is impossible.
Oh, because it's bombarded with everything else.
Yeah, it's every other ad page or whatever that it thinks you might be interested in is like, hey, don't you want to look at this? 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 Don't you want to look? Hey, buy this thing, buy that thing, buy from this company, buy from that company. That's the entire.
Why haven't you renewed your membership?
Right, and why haven't you renewed your membership? So you get it, and that's your entire feed for Facebook. So now Facebook has a new feature. Are you ready? It's a friends tab where you'll see only stuff that your friends have posted. And I'm like, that's what Facebook used to be. That's just Facebook. Facebook took away they new-coked us. They took away the original recipe, gave us something objectively worse, and then went, oh no, it's not selling. Let's go back to it reintroduce the old thing as Coke Classic, and it'll be great. And everyone's so stupid, they'll love it.
By the way, did you know that new Coke is nothing more than Diet Coke with sugar?
Yeah, which was terrible.
So we got new Coke, Diet Coke, and then Classic Coke, and then finally Coke Zeroed. So you've got to wait for the
Coke Zero yet.
You gotta, that's what I'm saying. You gotta see what Facebook's.
So does that make Twitter does that make Twitter Diet Coke with lime or something?
I don't know. It might be White Claw. I don't know. It could be White Claw.
Oh, and I think on that disappointment, we probably should end.
Yeah, let's auger this baby in then.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. The tornadoes have gone over us. Apparently, things are calming down. So, but I'm going to stay in the bunker anyway. And
that's where you like to be. It's your natural habitat, really.
It is. Don't forget to tune in next time when the maestro says,
"Hey, oh, you want me to do two things?"
Thanks for listening, and adios.
We're owl exterminators.
Oh, that was last podcast or podcast.
I just needed to say it again.
You never said goodbye to the audience,
Oh, adios, audience.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos, compañeros. When you get out of here.
It's been a long week.
Oh, has it ever? Yeah. There were so many traffic infractions, I couldn't even get into it. I lost track. I was just was in the land of suburbanites, and I was like, whatever.
That's not just the crazy thing. It's not just suburbanites. It's everywhere now. It's just as bad out here in rural Montana as it is in downtown Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? Everybody's lost their mind, apparently.
Well, nobody had to drive for a few years, and apparently that's all it takes is to lose the skill. Plus you add cars that have enough idiot-proof features that you don't really need to know how to drive. The car does it for you.
Yeah, and what is it with? And while we're on the fading out here, what is it with the illiterate people on social media? I mean, illiterate. I know that they can't write for beans. I mean,
that doesn't make you illiterate. Illiterate means you can't read.
Oh, maybe they can't read because they're spelling the word else, ELCE, or things like it. It's just like,
you're so close. You're so close. You're this close. You're one letter off.
The whole and this person's whole post was all spelled phonetically. It wasn't spelled correctly at all.
Well, there's a whole subreddit there's a whole subreddit for that called Bone Apple Tea.
I don't think I want to.
it's people trying to spell words that are kind of long or or foreign, like in case of Bon Appetit, right? Because that was the Bon Appetit was the they didn't know how to spell Bon Appetit, so they said Bon Appetit.
Of not of is not UV, all right? Else is not ELCE, and then they have no.
That's just wrong.
No capitalization, no punctuation. If I look hard enough, I could probably still find the post because I was like raging.
No, don't hurt yourself.
Looking at that, and the problem is when you're trying to communicate like that, you're not communicating at all. You're not because
everybody else that's trying to read it's having a stroke in the process.
Right. Capitalization, punctuation, and proper spelling are part of the rules of communication. And if you're not going to follow them, you can't communicate. I mean,
no.
So maybe, okay, wait a minute, but maybe we need to get refocused on that a little more. Oh.
What, on the spelling?
Yeah, spelling and syntax and stuff like that.
Syntax. I think Superman once fought that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it so that, and it's funny. Some of these people